Hey everyone, you're listening to Party Time, My Golf Story with Kevin Walsh, and whatever special guest he has today, you can check me out on episode 9 of the podcast. Today I'm wearing Grayson clothes while I'm out practicing because I believe in look good, play good, and follow me on Instagram, Sophia Warren Golf, and hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
It's Party Time, My Golf Story, brought to you by Party Drinks. Classically designed golf drinks for golfers by golfers. And the golf real estate pros Gene Walsh and Vince Vizzacaro. For your Southwest Florida real estate needs, check them out at suncoastdreams.com. Now here's your host, Kevin Walsh.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. It is the return of Dave Frantz, the legendary high school golf coach at Lakewood Ranch High School, which if you are not familiar with Lakewood Ranch High School in Lakewood Ranch, Florida, it is a juggernaut of a high school program. I call it, it is a college style program masquerading as a high school program. The kids are really that good. Dave's a great coach. He's been doing it for a long time, but like every new season, there's turnover. And the last time we talked was about a year ago. So I just thought it'd be a good time to him about that. Dave Frantz is our guest here. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to the podcast yet, would you please do so? And would you like it and recommend it to a friend? That all helps with the algorithms that ultimately produce sponsors for the program. And get the numbers up on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Play. So please do that. You probably hear that on other podcasts. At least I tell you why we ask for it. Big thanks to our title sponsors, Party Drinks. If you're looking for a drink alternative on the golf course and you don't have Party at your place pre-play, get in touch with the head pro or also the beverage staff and say, I want a Party. That's the drink for me on the golf course. Paradise Craft Distributors is the exclusive dealer of Party in the state of Florida. And also a big thanks to the golf real estate pros, Vince Vizzacaro and Gene Walsh from suncoastdreams.com, a division of fine properties in the greater Sarasota area. If you're looking for golf property, if you're close to retirement and you think you may do it a little bit early, it's a good time because there's a lot of inventory, including some at Lakewood National Golf Club, the number one golf community in America. And also BioLit Spa, one of our new sponsors, just opened up a couple of weeks ago in downtown Sarasota. And some of the Lakewood National friends that you've probably seen around the neighborhood, Karen and also Nicole, got you taken care of. So after a tough round of golf, you need to unwind, you need a cold water plunge, maybe you need a sauna, biocharger, something like that. BioLit Spa in downtown Sarasota has got you covered. All right, let's bring Dave Frantz on board. Hey, man, it's good to see you. It's been a while, but actually I saw you the other day. I don't know if you saw me. And I'm like, man, I got to reach out to Dave because I saw some of the old crop of the team, some of the new crop of the team that's coming on board. And, well, before we get to that, I just want to timestamp this. It is Sunday night, August the 10th, and school starts tomorrow. Is that right, Dave?
It does indeed. Yeah, I reminded all my kids that in a joke, I said to practice on Thursday. I said, well, by the way, I don't know if you've heard, but school starts Monday. So, yeah.
I think they knew. You rubbed it in, which you should. But tell me this. How is life different now? You haven't been in the club. You've been retired for quite some time. What was the night before school started back when you were teaching versus what it's like now?
Well, it's different as night and day. What's really great is that I've been retired from the classroom since 2018. So if back when I was teaching, which I taught for 38 years, the night before school started was a very nervous time. I knew I wasn't going to get much sleep. I had to get everything perfect. And of course, golf season. So I've got both of those things going at the same time and I'm just a mess. But now that I'm retired, and I actually, believe it or not, I don't think I told you this, but I have 3 assistant coaches now. So it's even more like a college program. Lucky me. And so I'm just loving life, man. It's just a great deal.
I want to get into the assistant coaches. I want to know who they are and what they do. But tell me this, where you're talking about being nervous the night before school starts and everything. I always wondered this about my school teachers. And the reason I asked this is because I was a broadcaster for some 30 years. And people would ask me if I get nervous. And I said, yes, but you just get to a point where you're not uncomfortable being nervous. You're comfortable being uncomfortable. And when it was students that were aspiring journalists, broadcast journalists, and they said, well, who should I watch? I said, watch your teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Because I always thought my teachers just had like an incredible command of the material. They seemed comfortable talking about that stuff. How did you feel when you were in front of the classroom?
Well, the first few years starting out is always really nervous, but after a while, after you've been doing it for a while, it's just for me, it was an opportunity to have a new audience, and we were on block scheduling, which is kind of a different deal. But I had over 150 students, and these were new people that I wanted to get to know. I wanted them to kind of like me. I wanted them to like my subject, and I wanted to entertain them so that they learned the material and did what I wanted them to do as far as being academically responsible and all that good stuff. And that was what I was all into. So you're right. It's kind of like you're on. It's like, the bell rang. Okay, now we start. It's exciting.
Right. Did you were you a showman when you were doing it?
Oh, well, I like to think I was. I don't know if the show was always good, but it was on time. I can tell you that. And it ended on time. But I've taught AP psychology for the last 18 years of my career. So I had a lot of great subject matter and a lot of great stories to tell. So definitely.
Dave Frantz, the golf coach at Lakewood Ranch High School, is our guest here on Party Time, brought to you by Party Drinks, the golf real estate pros of Gene Walsh and Vince Vizzacaro, and BioLit Spa in Sarasota. So I saw the boys and you. The green cart is unmistakable, the Marshall golf cart in the practice area at Lakewood National Golf Club. Team looks pretty good. You guys are good every year. What are your thoughts heading into new season?
I don't want to be too bold. We're the runners up the last 2 years in a row, which is kind of weird because it's kind of like saying you're a first loser, but we're kind of proud of that. Year before last, we got blown out by just a team that just played tremendously well, and then last year we just had a couple of guys that didn't play quite as well as they would have, or we would have been able to add that fourth state championship. We reloaded at Lakewood National Golf Club. Last year, we had 2 Canadian kids move in, and they're in the top 5 now. Again, they live right down the street from me. And then we also got a transfer from Poland who lives over at Renata over by the library on Rangeland. And we're due to get a kid from Germany at the end of September who's already online and good to go. And then I've got everybody back. With the exception of 3 of my top 5. So I feel really that we're really deep, and I feel like that with the schedule that I've set up, it's going to be sink or swim, and hopefully I've got 5 really good guys that swim, and we get to states again. How
do you find these European kids, or do they find you?
It's your podcast.
No, come on.
No, I didn't. Lakewood National, when you know this because you live here, when you type in golf courses, Lakewood National has a reputation, and I don't know that everybody that lives here knows this, but it has a reputation as that's 2 of the greatest golf courses in perfect condition year in and year out, thanks to our staff at the club and to our superintendent. And it's just a great place to live. So it's a great place for kids to practice and play. And I've been lucky. Lakewood Ranch has always gotten kids from all over. The Burby brothers came from Virginia. The Severses, who both of their boys played for me as well. They didn't come from anywhere else. They were homegrown, but that's kind of an oddity, actually. Most of my kids are like your neighbors. They've come from somewhere else, and they came here. A lot of them came here to be able to play our great golf courses.
Well, they have to go to school, too, if they're a certain age, unless they're at IMG, and then it's all about the sports first, and we'll work the academics in.
Yeah.
But, they end up, and it makes me think of Max Ben-Dixon, who is a past guest. Max is from Denmark. How's he been? How's life for him? Do you keep in contact?
He is doing great. He won a national tournament in Denmark. We've tried to talk to him about coming back for his senior year, but unfortunately, his mother has said no. So I fully expect him to be playing Division I college golf here in America next year.
Is he already getting interest from?
He was getting interest when he played for us as a 10th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a couple of coaches that followed him at the state championship. So, yep.
Fantastic. Well, you lost a couple guys. You mentioned the Sievers brothers. Parker is off to University of Florida, and Henry Burby is where?
Henry is going to join his brother at University of West Florida. Mm-hmm. Interesting part of this story is I've had 2 sets of brothers the last few years, and 3 of those 4 kids are at West Florida, and Parker's at University of Florida. So pretty neat. And Jack and Preston, who played for me a couple of years ago and 3 years ago, are roommates. So really great family connection with the Argonauts in Pensacola.
So tell me about this. How much time do you spend on the phone with college coaches wanting to know the real deal and talk turkey about a potential
This sounds really odd, but college coaches don't really deal with us high school coaches per se. They look at the numbers. They look at how the kids have done in the American Junior Golf Association, AJGA. They look at videos that they've sent. They look at their numbers that the parents or the kid himself send with regard to their angles of their swing, the different numbers that go into flight scope and everything else. And of course, probably most important, their GPA. So they don't really get a lot of input from us. They can kind of look and see what high schools they played for, what kind of schedules they had, what kind of courses they play. And I kind of pride ourselves. We seek out and kind of play at some of the most difficult golf courses in the state of Florida in our regular season.
Well, you have access, your team has access to 2 pretty good courses right here in the backyard. Are the guys playing it all the way back?
I want to correct you on that. We also have 4 courses at Lakewood Ranch Golf and Country Club, but we are the luckiest people in the world.
Man, the cup runneth over.
We have 6 courses at our disposal. It's pretty awesome. We don't play it all the way back. Legacy, for those that don't know, Legacy is now owned by Lakewood Ranch Golf and Country Club, and it's a pretty tight deal where you can lose some golf balls. You have to really work hard to lose a golf ball at Lakewood National, either of the courses. So consequently, I don't play it all the way back. We're playing probably 6,600 at Legacy. We play 6,900 at Royal Lakes. Kings Dunes is not open. We don't play Cypress very often. And then Lakewood National, Commander, and Piper, we play the red tees, which are the Arnold tees, which are about 6,700 yards.
Yeah, that's plenty long enough, especially for high school kids. But they all mash it. What are you looking for in a player? I mean, obviously, anybody that can play for your team. Well, if we threw all their handicaps into a blender, are we coming out pretty close to zero?
No. Henry and Parker were both, by the time they were seniors, were plus handicaps. But I would say the average amongst my team right now is maybe of the starters, the ones that are in the top, what we call green team, because I have 14 kids on the team. So I have a green team and a silver team. We're not allowed to have junior varsity golf in Manatee County. So I would say probably the average for the green team is probably 1, 2, or 3 handicaps. And then for the silver team, probably 5, 6 handicaps.
Okay. Now, are the guys on the silver team trying to move up? I mean, we got regulation going on like the British Premier League?
You go by our club a lot, and you may have seen a little short guy hitting balls with our other players that are members here, Jack and Owen and Henry, who's also a member here, and wondered who that little guy is. Well, he's gotten a little taller, he's gotten a lot longer, and just yesterday I put him on the green team. His name is Will Thomas. So where his parents are excited, he's excited. He's a dynamo. He's a good kid.
Well, he earned it. I mean, that's just right. by merit, and he puts in the hard work. I see the kids working real hard. How much of that is self-motivation, their own drive versus what you tell them to do?
I don't want to come off as like some type of guru. It's really not anything that's difficult to figure out. Basically, I just provide a culture and a platform for them to be able to be as good as they want to be. And if they work it hard enough, then they can work their way up to the top level on our team. They all have the talent, or I wouldn't have put them on the team in the first place. The idea is that they work as hard as they can work, and I try to give them course management. I give them psychology. I give them encouragement. I probably text them way too much about whether I'm giving them criticism or whether I'm giving them praise. I do a lot. I have a lot more time now with my assistants to be able to do those kinds of things. And it's great to be able to be a pretty good part of their lives for at least 3 or 4 months during golf season. Even after that, I try to keep up with them and see how they're doing in their tournaments. So short answer, provide the motivation, provide the route, and it's up to them whether they go and drive along that road.
I promise I'll get to the assistants, but you mentioned a word that caught my ear, culture. What is the culture that you've established at Lakewood Ranch High School?
Well, prior to 2010, we basically were doing kind of the same things that everybody else was doing, 9-hole matches, trying to cultivate our players and try to get as good as we can, but playing, 14, 15 times at 9 holes. Around 2010, we recognized that we had some really good players. One of them is Danny Walker, who I know you'll ask me about later on. And I realized that, this team is good enough to win the state championship by far. So we need to do something else. So we started playing in tournaments around the state. And in 2010, we did a few, and we were runner-up in the state. In 2011, we played as many good tournaments as I could find in the best competition in Florida. We won the state championship in 2011, 2012, 2013. And since that point, I've realized that playing 18 holes in a tournament is much better for their confidence and for their development than playing a 9-hole match after school.
And if they're going on to the next level in college, it's all about 18. So
absolutely.
Why not do that? And I imagine that has something to do with the pipeline that's coming. They're coming for the facilities here at Lakewood National and everything else, but then it's the prep for the next level.
Absolutely.
It sounds like. The assistants, who do you got? What do they do?
Well, before I do assistants, I need to mention the administration at Lakewood Ranch has supported us all the way around. We wouldn't be able to do all the things that we're able to do with all these tournaments from all over the state if we didn't have that support. But Brian Ross is my first assistant. He actually teaches at the school, so he's the school liaison. He is an amazing man, a great teacher, motivator, and he's my eyes and ears on campus. So that's kind of great. And then I have Seth Lauer.
Hold on. Stop there. So if somebody is not paying attention to class or misbehaving, he lets you know, and then you have the proper talk.
Yeah, we were pumping them up.
He's your detective
for doing what they need to do on campus, and we're talking about grades. And Coach Ross was talking to it. I turned it over to him, and he singled out one of the most mild-mannered players on my team and said, "Remember when such and such teacher called me about your behavior in their class?" And I was like, "Whoa, I didn't even know about that." So he knows stuff that I don't know, which is great because he stays up with it all as well as I do. So it's great.
Who else you got?
All right, so Seth Lauer actually is one of the best players in the area. He played at Florida State. He was actually Brooks Koepka's teammate, and he's a businessman. Works in a company called Swing Catalyst, so he's in the business. And he joined us last year, and he's been awesome to have around. And then this past year, the co-owner of Heritage Harbour Golf Club, which is where I give my golf lessons that I give to the public. And a PGA pro, Rick Nelson, has joined us. His daughter is going to Lakewood Ranch, and he has the time and loves being around the guys with golf. Got some experience. He worked a little bit with the Lakewood Ranch prep team last year, and he has been a godsend already. He's been to a lot of our practices and has the time, and he's been great.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you deputize them to do a lot of the stuff. And that sounds fine. We had one coach when I was in high school, and God rest his soul. He admitted he knew nothing about golf. So he just kind of drove us there, and he's just like, I don't know, just play the best you can. And that's how it was.
But it's great that you had him. Otherwise you might not have had your team or a sponsor and so forth. So, I mean, I give credit to all the guys that are out and women that are out there coaching golf, because it's tough because, there's a lot of time involved, and You're the only person involved. Sometimes we've just been lucky.
how is it all budgeted in, like all the travel that you guys do? Is it all paid for by the school, or do you have sponsors that help out?
That's a great segue. We're actually having our Lakewood Ranch Invitational, thanks to our wonderful host courses, Lakewood National and Lakewood Ranch. We have a 20-team invitational that is free to the public to come. The first day is September 5th at Legacy, and the second day is 1 o'clock shotgun on Commander at Lakewood National. We have 20 of the best teams in the state that come in. They pay an entry fee, and then those entry fees are what we use to pay our entry fees to go to other tournaments around the state.
Love it. Yeah, because it sounds like how many travel trips will you take this season?
Well, this is our most involved year ever. I just went crazy. So there's 4 or 5 events where I'm actually taking 2 teams, which is allowable, which is really cool. Luckily, I have assistant coaches who will coach them. So I'll coach one team and they'll coach another. And then I have I think I added it up. I think there's probably on the green team, there's, I don't know, maybe like 10 or 12 events, 10 or 11 events. And then for the other team, there's like 7. So it's a lot of golf.
It is. When you guys go on the road, are you piling into a van? How does it all go down?
Most of the ones that we go to are fairly close. Like we have one in Newport Richie, and we have one at Hunters Green in Tampa. We have a couple in Orlando. So the parents pretty much will drive them for those. There's a couple that we rent an Enterprise rent a car, and we get the big Tahoe or whatever it is and pile in. But we have a lot of parents that like to watch their kids, and they have some time to be able to do that. So yeah, we're lucky that way.
Well, when everybody's piled in, like in the Tahoe or whatever else you got, who controls the tunes?
Well, that's a good question. Generally, they're all on they have their headphones on, so it's not a big deal. We're going to Arizona next Wednesday, and I'm sure that nobody will listen to any of my music. They won't be able to hear it because they'll have their headphones in. So, yeah,
and that's a generational thing, and I get it, but I think it's unfortunate because when we were riding in the Purdue van, we were always fighting over that. Right. It was hijinks because we had nothing else to do but entertain ourselves.
Yeah, the invention of headphones has definitely changed things. Because we used to, back when we won 3 state championships, we had a van that was provided by Manatee County, and we pretty much lived in that van. And I let them choose the music, and then we had our own theme songs. We had songs that were on different kids' iPods or phones that was our arrival music, and we would roll the windows down and crank that up as we pulled into the drive.
Okay. This is good. Okay. What was the arrival theme, and how loud was it?
Well, the one I remember most is actually my first state runner-up, and that was in 1990. And it was She Drives Me Crazy by the Fine Young Cannibals. But the other ones, what's the name of that? That's a difficult question to ask an old man like that. There was one, I'll remember it after we get off the podcast, but we use
as long as you're not like rolling in with the windows down and Taylor Swift pumping. No.
Good. It's always, yeah. We actually had We Are the Champions after we won the championship in 2011. We rolled that up a few times. So it was
perfect.
Good choices.
Danny Walker, have you been in contact recently?
I did. He's been on kind of a difficult streak lately. Missed the last 6 cuts, I think. I looked up his stats. He's doing really well money-wise. I think a lot of your viewers might remember him. Interestingly enough, he was wearing very similar to this shirt when he finished 6th at the Players and won $843,000. So he picked the right one. And the story for that, if you don't know or remember, Jason Day was sick. And Danny was the first alternate. He actually lives like 10 miles from TPC Sawgrass. So he got in the tournament. He finished 6th and won all that money as a brand new rookie on the PGA Tour. He currently is at $1.2 million right now. And he probably, as long as he can get a little bit more and hold his spot, which of course is going to change when the FedEx numbers come out. But he needs to be in the top 100 by the end of the year.
Okay.
And he's 103rd right now, so looking pretty good.
What was he like in high school?
Oh gosh, I had him in class too. Just quiet. A very quiet, efficient guy, kind of tall, kind of lanky. He's still tall and lanky, except he can hit a 7 hybrid, 260 yards. So that's pretty crazy. He just would do anything to practice hard. Was disciplined. I think down inside, he always knew he wanted to be a golf pro. He doubted it. If you read anything on the story, if you read on ESPN or any of the other profile pages, he actually quit for a couple of weeks, worked as a waiter at Bahama Breeze before he came back, went back to the Corn Ferry Tour and worked his way up and finished 28th last year on the Corn Ferry Tour. So that's how he got on the tour this year.
Almost sounds like Kevin Roy's story.
Yes.
I think all competitive golfers at some point, with very few exceptions, are going to hate the game at some point because it leaves us. You know what I mean? Or we don't get the results when we're putting in the hard work. When somebody's going through that, they're putting in the time and the results aren't there, and they're a better player than what they're performing. Put on your psychology hat because you know this. I mean, you taught AP psychology for years. Yeah. What do you say to them?
Well, I can tell you that today what I texted him, which he doesn't rely on me for anything because I'm just a high school coach and, he's won $1 million on the PGA Tour. But I just said, you and I both, I don't have any wise words. I said, but you and I both know that you've got it. You just got to keep having the faith in yourself. And the numbers are there. I mean, he's averaging 308 yards off the tee. He's averaging 1.7 putts per round, which is the same that Scotty Scheffler is averaging. It's just striking the ball and hitting it close and understanding that you have what it takes. Just keep plugging. Look at Cameron Young, finishes second 7 times.
Right.
And then finally, boom, he got it. And he didn't even know what to say because he'd been so busy in the trenches, so busy doing what he's doing, and he didn't even have words for what his first victory meant for him.
Yeah, I get it. Dave Frantz, the golf coach at Lakewood Ranch High School in Lakewood Ranch, Florida, is our guest here on Party Time. Brought to you by the golf real estate professionals of Gene Walsh and Vince Vizicaro from suncoastdreams.com. If your dream is to live in a golf resort community like Lakewood National Golf Club, where this podcast originates from, give Gene and Vince a call. They'll help you out at Division of Fine Properties in the greater Sarasota area. And if you're looking for a drink alternative on the golf course, try a Party. Stop drinking that other stuff. It just doesn't taste as good. And also BioLit Spa in downtown Sarasota. If you need to wind down after a tough day on the golf course, cold water plunge, hot tub, infrared sauna might do the body good. Dave, I know one thing that's really captures your heart is Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Yes. What's going on with that? What do you do for it?
I was a huddle sponsor at Lakewood Ranch High School for Fellowship Christian Athletes back in the day, and basically a spiritual organization that's student run and student led. We had meetings in the mornings once a week, and of course, the donuts and everything, and we did Fields of Faith and so forth. So I've been involved for a while. Since I've been retired, there's a gentleman named Addison Sterling who is starting a golf program, just FCA for just golf in Manatee County. And there's only 2 other positions like that in the whole state of Florida. So what we're trying to do is use golf as a way to get into the hearts and minds of the spirituality and with these young people, and just get them aware, to be aware and to encourage them and empower them with their faith. So that's kind of where we are. We are having we'll have several golf retreats in the spring for high school age, but we're also looking at middle schools and the PGA, involving PGA Junior League age kids, and just pour into them and share with them the good news.
Well, tell me this: do you ever pray before a round of golf? If it means something like you just like a nice round of golf, and you say, "Hey, God, can you help me out here?"
Yeah, no, I guess I figure God's got better things to do than to think about my golf score. I tend to take ownership of how hard I'm going to practice and how psychologically I'm going to play, and if I fail, it's because I failed as a golfer. I don't think that that God is going to have one way or the other. It's pretty much written in that fate. And if I can be the best Christian I can be, then all things will take care of themselves.
I pray before I play. And I pray in the
That's
context.
why you asked me that.
Well, look, I need all the help I can get. All right. Yeah. So there's that. Yeah. But I guess more than anything, I pray for peace of mind, to have a calm demeanor, and that whatever work I've been putting in, and I'll confess I haven't been practicing that much lately, but that like my abilities will come out and I'll comport myself properly. And does it help me? I think so. I mean, I keep doing it. I can't say, well, because I prayed, I shot this. I think it usually comes down to more mental preparation, in which I'm just getting deeper into my mind with meditation. You understand? Well,
I think that's great. I think I tend to pray more for my team and for my boys with regard to that. I've just played so much golf and so much tournament golf that I just don't. I don't feel that need. I'll pray, I mean, obviously in the evening and stuff like that, but I'm usually praying for my family and our health and so forth. But yeah, I can see where that would be good as well. So it's good that you do that.
You know what I get a kick out of are those tags like on the zippers for golf bags that say "Pray for birdies." Does anybody do that? Yeah, I just.
Well, it sounds like you do. It sounds like you do.
No, actually, I don't. I'm not praying for birdies. I hope they come.
You're praying for the psychological quietness of mind that allows you to make birdies. Yeah. I like that.
Exactly. I just wonder. Look, it's a good marketing thing. I see it on golf bags all the time for people I caddy for. But I just wonder: Are you really praying for birdies? Is anybody praying for specifically?
I don't know. I'm praying for Danny's birdies. I can tell you that. I pray for him the whole time I'm watching him.
You know what? That's good by you, and I'll pray for him as well. And I'm sure he appreciates that. And if anybody wants to pray for me, go right ahead. Like I said, I need all the help I can get.
I'm also praying that people watching your podcast that maybe are thinking about coming to Lakewood Ranch, please feel free to move into Lakewood National. There are several places on my street. And if you have a teenage boy that loves golf, you're in the right place.
You got that right. And you got
shameless plug, right? Shameless plug.
But if that is you or your son, you better be able to play. All right. Because it's a tough lineup to crack. Hey, Dave, always good talking to you. I wish you nothing but success. Keep in touch. Okay. And we'll bring you back, and hopefully we're celebrating another state championship.
Sounds great. I'll see you around the neighborhood.
All right. As we wrap it up, big thanks to Party Drinks, the title sponsor. If you're looking for a different drink alternative on the golf course, try a Party. If you want to be Dave Franz's neighbor at Lakewood National Golf Club, Gene Walsh and Vince Fizzicaro, SuncoastStreams.com. They can hook it up and maybe make you.
There's a place in my building. It's right behind me in the coach home.
Are you a good neighbor, Dave?
I tell you what, move in. I'll give you a free golf lesson as an introduction. But you got to work with Gene or Vince.
Okay. Very good. So big thanks to SuncoastStreams.com and BioLit Spa in downtown Sarasota. Recharge yourself after a round of golf, or just be a prince or a princess for the day at BioLit. For Dave Frantz, I'm Kevin Walsh. We'll see you again next time on Party Time, My Golf Story.
You've been listening to It's Party Time, My Golf Story, brought to you by Party Drinks. Classically designed golf drinks for golfers by golfers, and the golf real estate pros Gene Walsh and Vince Fizzicaro. For your Southwest Florida real estate needs, check them out at suncoaststreams.com or call 941-220-4000.